Hello guys, it's Mr. Middleton here. We are going to talk about classifying polynomials today, going into our polynomial chapter. We'll do a lot of stuff with polynomials this chapter, so it's probably a good idea to be able to refer to them in a way that makes sense and that we can understand throughout the chapter without thinking about it too much. Okay. By the end of this video, you should be able to describe / classify polynomials. Okay, so there'll be some vocabulary. I'll go through it. I know I've already written down these definitions, so you pause the video whenever you need to in order to catch up. All right. So polynomials, poly meaning many, nomials, nomes sounds like names to me, but we'll start off before we talk about polynomials about talking about a monomial. Okay, monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of a number and one or more variables. Okay. Here are some examples of what a monomial is. Okay, mono, one, like monocle or monopoly. So we got 12, that's a monomial. Y, that's a monomial. Negative 5xy squared, that's a monomial. D over 3 is monomial. See that each of these is a number, a variable, a product of a number and one or more variables. Okay, both of these are that. Okay, those are all monomials. When we talk about the degree of a monomial, okay, the degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of its variables. Okay, so we have a few monomials here we'll use as examples. If I had to give the degree for each of these monomials, it's the sum of the exponents of its variables. Okay, so here we have x. There's no value written there, so we know it's that invisible 1. The degree of this monomial is 1. Okay, so it's a first degree, I'll say that, monomial. For b, we have 7x squared y to the third. Okay. Remember, it's the sum of the exponents of its variables only, so even though there's 1 here, 7 is not a variable, we don't add that in. This will be 2 plus 3. This will be a 5th degree monomial. You'll notice with c, negative 4, there's no variable at all, so none of the exponents have, or none of the variables have exponents. So this is a 0 degree monomial. So that's how we would classify the degree of a monomial. And that is what a monomial is. Now, monomials aren't the focus or the focal point of this lesson. The focal point will be polynomials. And a polynomial is a monomial or the sum or difference of 2 or more monomials. Okay, so we know what one monomial is. Okay, a polynomial just has more of those together joined in with addition or subtraction. Okay, so one example of a polynomial. Got 5x to the 4th, 3x squared, minus x plus 7. This is an example of a monomial. Okay. When you write polynomials, I said an example of a polynomial, right? Hopefully. When you write polynomials, you want to write it in standard form. Okay? This is written in standard form. And what standard form is when we write our polynomials, we will have the degree of terms decrease from left to right. So you notice that this is the 4th degree, okay, 2nd degree, 1st degree, 0 degree, like we talked about with these monomials. Okay, it should decrease from left to right. Okay, and if it does that, then we have it in standard form. All of our final answers, when we simplify a polynomial, will be in standard form, because that's the standard way to do it. Okay. So we can say what a degree of a polynomial is. It's a little bit different than the degree of a monomial. The degree of a polynomial is the degree of the monomial with the greatest exponent. Okay, so here in our 5x to the fourth polynomial, our degree of this polynomial would be 4. Okay, because that's the highest exponent. Alright. Take a second, copy down this table. Try to give some space so we can see it all. And straighten it up. Maybe. Straighten it a little bit. Alright. Pause it, copy down this statement. Or this table. So I adjust my camera just a little bit more. Kind of zoom in on here. Okay. I think that's good. Okay. We're going to use this table now in order to name these polynomials or classify these polynomials. And there's two things that we take into consideration when classifying polynomials. One, we take in the degree of the polynomial, and two, we take in the number of terms. Okay? Again, the degree of the polynomial happens to be the highest exponent in a variable. So here my variable is x, only one I have, so its highest exponent. It's 1. That's my degree. That's the degree of that polynomial. Okay. Now you're going to have to study up, link up in your mind the name that goes along with the degree for a, if our highest exponent is 1, or if our polynomial is the first degree, we call it linear. Okay. Because if we graph it, it looks like a line. Okay. At least that's my reasoning. All right, the number of terms. We can say what, how many terms there are by the separation by the addition and subtraction signs. So I have 1, 2 terms. Okay. And I will call that a binomial. Bicycle, bipolar, no, not biopic. That's about somebody. Okay. But bi is used as a root word. Am I saying it right? That means 2. Okay. So 2 terms, binomial. If we wanted to classify this polynomial, 7x plus 4, we'd call it a linear binomial. Okay. Let's look at this one. Its degree, highest exponent, is 2. The name using that would be called a quadratic. And we'll talk about quadratics a lot more. I shouldn't call it quadratics. We'll talk about it a lot more as this semester winds down. How many terms are there? There are 1, 2, 3 terms. Okay, and so we call that a trinomial. Tricycle, triceratops, triangle, tri meaning 3. Okay. Here, its degree would be 3. The highest exponent to our variable. That is called a cubic. Okay, anything that's to the third power is cubic. So 1 power is linear, 2 is quadratic, 3 is cubic. Okay, there is 1 term. We already know what 1 term is called. It's called a monomial. Okay, like monopoly, like the other words I said starts with O. Monogamy. Okay. This is to the 4th degree. Now, in math, you'll see that almost everything has a specific name, but as far as the demands of this course, anything above 3, we can just call it the nth degree. Okay, so in this case, we'll just call this a 4th degree. There are 2 terms, binomial. So we'll just call this a fourth degree binomial. If somebody asks you for the particular name for this, it would be quartic, but it doesn't matter that much to us for you to have to remember that. Just fourth degree. Anything above 3, if it were 7, you'd say seventh degree binomial. Okay? Alright, what's this? It's 0. We don't have a variable. Okay, so that's to the 0 power, or 0 degree. And that will be called a constant. Okay, notice it can't change. If I had x, anything I plugged in for my variable wouldn't change this at all. It's constant, stays the same. And it's a monomial. Okay, and it has to be. If it's a constant, that means if we have it simplified, there should only be one term. Okay, ooh, that was bad handwriting. But hopefully you see that says monomial. Okay. Alright, and so we've named all these. This is a linear binomial. This is a quadratic trinomial, a cubic monomial, a fourth degree binomial, and a constant or constant monomial. Okay, try these two out and bring them to me for tomorrow. Alright, have a good one, guys. Oh, sorry. You should now, hopefully, that if you are able to do this, then that means you will be able to, or you are able to, classify a polynomial, which was the goal for these notes. Alright, now see you later.